Welcome back, y'all. Pokey Lambo here, and today we are going over the hottest cards and sealed product of the week. And first off, we have to do our friendly reminder of the Chaos Rising pre-orders on the Pokemon website, and hopefully we see that this week. And if not, should for sure be next week. And it'd be pretty crazy to have it the same week as the release of Perfect Order, but we'll be definitely keeping an eye out for that, and definitely the best opportunity you have at getting stuff at MSRP. So let's get right into the hottest cards and sealed product of the week, starting out with Drowsy from Scarlet and Violet base set. And this one has seen its pumps in the past, but it looks like it's starting to run up with the set rotating out here pretty soon with the most recent sale of $37. And we'll definitely see how far this one runs up with the set going out of rotation and if it actually sticks there up at the top. And definitely when it comes to the art style, it's very original. So could see this one continue to climb up, but we'll just see what it does. And same with the Gardevoir. And we have the most recent sale here of $80, so it's definitely starting to climb up there. And Gardevoir has definitely got a kind of a cult following, but also in the competitive card scene, Gardevoir has seen a lot of play, so very popular Pokemon there. But definitely nice little pump there, so it's doing pretty well right now. And we also have the Elite Trainer box, just the regular of Koraidon here, and it's starting to finally break up over the $100 mark. So we got a recent sale here of $123, and I really like how this box looks along with Miraidon. So definitely benefiting from going on a rotation soon, and I definitely think this is a long hold if you're picking these up, but $100 if you can get it on there, I think that's actually not too bad, especially with the set going on rotation. And the Pikachu with the gray felt hat is starting to go kind of crazy again. We have a recent sale of $800, and I don't know if that's going to hold up, but a lot of people think that it should be at that price. So we'll see how far this one goes up and if maybe it starts to push $1,000. So we'll be keeping an eye on that. And the Eevee promo from the Pokemon Center exclusive is up to, oh, this graph's broken. It's almost at $80. So we're starting to see some of these promos really start to pump. And we also have the Charmander from the Obsidian ETB, and this is the Pokemon Center exclusive one. And this most recent sale is $200. And this graph's also pretty busted too, but we can see a lot of people trying to push for it to be selling over that $200 mark. So not surprised there. It's an amazing promo. And we also have the Raichu from Paldea Evolved, and most recent sale is $83. So it's nice to see Raichu up there. Pretty cool. And another one from Paldea Evolved that's starting to go on a pretty good run is the Mousehold, and most recent is $40, and we've seen this one kind of do the same thing. So we'll see if it continues to pump up, but right now it's kind of hovering around that $50 range, even though you got someone here trying to sell it for $70. And Fuecoco is actually going on a pretty big run from Paldea Evolved as well, and most recent sold is $62. Then we can see down here quite a few people have it up in this $50, $40 range. So with Paldea Evolved going out of rotation as well, we could start to see some of these cards going on a big run here soon. And we got the Paldea Evolved Elite Trainer box up over $160. So this one's up over 25% in the last 3 months. So starting to go on a nice tear there. And we also have the booster bundles that are breaking over $100. So we're starting to see not only, your 151 and your Paldean Fates booster bundles breaking over $100, but you also have Paldea Evolved here. So pretty interesting with this being a newer product, the booster bundles. It'll be kind of exciting to see how far these things will continue to push up here the next few years. And we have the Obsidian Flames Elite Trainer Box, just the regular one, pushing up over $200. So congrats to Obsidian Flames for surviving the dark times of the hobby when these things were selling below MSRP. So pretty crazy stuff. Seeing it up above $200. And we have some 151 that's doing pretty well this week still, even with some of the stuff and the singles starting to go down. We have the Zapdos EX collection at over 110 and up 84% for our 3-month. So performing super well. We also have the 151 poster collection, and the most recent sell is $1, so some silliness on TCG Player, but we have it here almost at $80, and same thing as the Zapdos. Yeah, it's almost up 90%, and this is one that I definitely thought last year was a good pickup, around $30. So if you picked it up last year, you've doubled your money. So I think this one's really nice. It's smaller than the other ones, and you have the starters there. But yeah, it's pretty exciting to see this starting to push up. And we also have Groudon from Paradox Rift, and it's broke over the $100 mark. And the most recent sold is $102. So Groudon's one of my favorite Pokemon, and definitely my favorite legendary from Gen 3, being a Ruby player. I love Rayquaza, but I didn't pick Emerald, and I just stuck to Ruby. I just loved Ruby so much. So it's pretty cool to see him up over $100. It's too bad this card doesn't have like a hollow foil on it, because that would go so crazy with the lava and the water, but still an amazing art there. And we also have the Paradox Rift Elite Trainer Box, both the Iron Valiant and the Roaring Moon at 120. So these are starting to have a nice run up as well, and also part of that block that's rotating out. And we have Mew here at the recent sell, 700. I think that matches its former all-time high. So let's see if it breaks it by next week, but would not be surprised if it goes over that 700 mark, and there's definitely a lot of people trying to sell it over that. So we'll see how far up this thing continues to go. It's definitely arguably the best SIR from the era, but that Umbreon is steep competition there. And we have the Paldean Fates Elite Trainer boxes that most recent sold is $350. So these things are really starting to climb up fast, and we have people that are obviously really trying to sell these for a lot more, like in the $400 range. So we'll definitely be keeping an eye on Paldean Fates and see how fast this starts to shoot up and kind of fall around 151. And the Pokemon Center exclusive is getting close. So it just hit $600 on the most recent. Someone's trying to sell it for $700. So 600 could be the new floor. So we'll see if this one starts to push up to the $1,000 range before we know it. And we also have Ghastly from Temporal Forces, and this card just keeps on going on runs, and right now it's trying to push up over $90. Most recent sell is $85, but still pretty respectable for a. Pretty sure this is just just an IR, so pretty respectable. But when you have so many Pokemon in a card like this, it makes it pretty unique, pretty special, and Gengar is definitely getting a lot of love right now, so definitely helps pump that card up. And we also have the Morty's Conviction, and this one is up over $50 now, so 33% in the 3 month. Pretty good, especially for a trainer card. And yeah, some people are really trying to push it up to that $100 mark. So we'll see if they're able to get there, especially with the set rotating out. And actually, is this one? I don't think this one's rotating out, actually. No, it's not. So we'll see how this one holds up. I mean, we have a long time, but I mean, we might not get a ton of reprints for temporal forces. So could be one that has a little bit of a retracement, and then if it retraces, then go ahead and snag some of those up, especially before Halloween. And we have the Greninja EX from Twilight Masquerade, and this one went on a pretty massive run there, and most recent sold is 344, and I think we definitely could see this one going up a little bit more, especially with the Greninja set coming out soon. There could be kind of more of a back and forth of which card is better, so you could see people just start to target this one more than the new Greninja card. But I think this one is a awesome one. $300 pretty rough for me personally on the budget, but if you pulled it, I mean, I'd hold it, because I think 350 is, or 315. It's not like crazy to sell it, but definitely could if you're not a Greninja fan. And we also have Monkey Dory from Shrouded Fable. He's going on a little bit of a run, and market price 400, recent sold 36. But just thought it was interesting to see him kind of climbing up. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's the one that's playable in the TCG, but it's always interesting when seeing these newer Pokemons, these start to go on runs. And I think it's a beautiful card, so I could see it being somewhat popular. And the Shrouded Fables Elite Trainer Box for the Pokemon Center. Oh no, these aren't. This isn't this is just the regular one. Is up to 154. So I know that some YouTubers have been talking about Shrouded Fables, and you can see it. Even a set that's, quote unquote bad is up at 154. So pretty interesting stuff. I'm sure it's benefiting from people saying that they're not going to reprint much of this. So we also have Stellar Crown Elite Trainer boxes running up to 120. Then that's even the most recent sell there, and it's up almost 17% in the last 3 months. So going on a nice little run there for Stellar Crown. And it's crazy because the regular ETBs are almost the same price as the PC ETBs. So I think that could be a play if you have a little bit of a belief in Stellar Crown. You might look at picking up those PC ETBs, because they honestly are pretty similar in price, which is kind of a crazy anomaly that we haven't seen happen in a while. So definitely could be a play there. And Umbreon, the graph is still broken, but we can see the most recent sell here is $1,700 almost, and this card just keeps going up. And we can see that a lot of the people are trying to sell it more around like the 14 to possibly 1,600 range. But if you get a really, really minty one, I mean, you could pretty much ask for whatever you want in this market. So that's why this card is definitely on top for me as the best card in the SV era. And we're also seeing the Sylveon going a little bit of run. The graphs are pretty broken right now, but the most recent sell is 390, and the market is 290. So there could be some people really trying to push this card up. So we'll definitely keep an eye on Sylveon, but I do think Sylveon for me is like one of my favorites up there with Umbreon. Like Umbreon's not my like all-time favorite. I definitely love Jolteon and Glaceon, but in the games I always go with Sylveon because the fairy typing and her stats are just so good. So I do lean Sylveon in the games, but cosmetically and like growing up with the hobby, I like Jolteon. And but for 300, I mean, people are asking for almost 450 to 500. So this is definitely one that's starting to go on a tear here. And we also have the Eevee from Prismatic. The most recent sell is 218 and up almost, oh yeah, over 50% in the last 3 months. So we're starting to see this Eevee go on a nice little run. And even though, which is crazy because so much Prismatic has been printed, and yet these singles just continue to go up, which is crazy. And we have the Prismatic Evolution Supreme Premium Collection, and this is up almost 60% in the last 3 months. And last sold or most recent is 380. And we might get a reprint restock, so we'll see how far it pushes down, but I can't imagine it's gonna push it down that much. And if it does, sweet, that's your chance to get in if you don't have any. And that's me, just because I don't really go shop retail for these kind of products, because a lot of the times where I live, people have a jump on a lot of the products, so they're able to get in, get the hookups, and I'm not wasting time waiting in line. That's just, I have too much to do with my life. So cool product though. I think it looks great for an SPC. I definitely think it's like one of the best we've ever gotten. And like the Charizard from Sword and Shield was really sweet, but this one's crazy. And we have the Destined Rivals Pokemon Center Elite Trainer Box, and we have someone here trying to sell it for 500, and that is our most recent sale. So Destined Rivals, this thing needs such a reprint, but for whatever reason, Pokemon is just targeting Prismatic. And Destined Rivals is just going to become a rarer and more scarce product, and we're going to just continue to see it push up like it is. And it's pretty wild. It's such a good product. And same with even the regular ones are pushing up north of $200. Most recent sell is 223. And yeah, I mean, this thing, I would build a house out of it. Like I would not, if I got a case of these, I would crack it out of that brown box so fast, and I just have my whole house would just be load bearing like walls of Destined Rivals Elite Trainer boxes. But you know, I'll leave that to the whales and the big fishes that buy their one. Well, I wish it was just one. They're 8 cases of these. Oh, my small 8 case position of Destined Rivals Elite Trainer boxes. I mean, let's be real, they're not Elite Trainer boxes, they're getting booster boxes. Speaking of booster boxes, we have them pushing up north of 550, and I think we're starting to see some movement, but we'll definitely see if it pushes back up to 600. So unfortunately, the reprint of the booster boxes came to Europe and not to the United States. So L for us, and hey, good for you guys over in Europe. You guys deserve it. We've been getting loaded up in the States, so good for you guys. We love our plastic products here anyway, apparently. And we have the booster bundles, and these things, I was really hoping that they would get pushed down to like $40, like how they were. They weren't even back there. Anyway, I was hoping that this reprint would push them down to $40, and we didn't even get that. They barely even sniffed like $49. So that's great. My LGS just loaded up on these and selling them for $60, and I am just not investing in booster bundles at $60. The only ones that I'd be willing to do that with was 151. Like Prismatic, sure, but in my mind, Prismatic is just a gambling set, whereas 151 is a very nostalgic and a fun set to open. Whereas with Prismatic, if you don't pull anything, you might rip out your hair. Whereas with 151, you're opening it for fun. You're not going to be too upset if you don't get anything. But that's besides the fact. Up 22% for the booster bundles for Destined Rivals, which is absolutely insane considering the amount of product that we got. I mean, like here you can see 213 bought from the 13th to the 15th. So definitely just a crazy amount being bought up. And people are definitely treating this like the next Evolving Skies. I think that's kind of a crazy comparison, but with it being Team Rocket, definitely might not be too far off. And especially if we go another 10 years without seeing a Team Rocket set. And we have the Seismitoad from Black and White, the Shinji Kanda, and most recently sold 180. And I don't know, everyone else is trying to sell it again here for 180. So this could just be another pump up of Seismitoad, but only time will tell with this card. The silliness of Pokemon on full display. And next up, we have the Black Bolt Elite Trainer Box. This one I put in just because it's finally breaking over $100. So most recent sell is 112. And this could be because of the Seismitoad as well. Just continue to push this up. And also the Zekrom, I think, is a little more popular. So that gives it the edge on White Flare. But we're seeing the White Flare. I threw this in just because it's starting to coattail Black and White. So it's shot up as well. So it's pretty much the same boat is Black and White there. This chart's all busted, but yeah, it's about to break over $100 for the regular ETBs, so nothing surprising there. And then next up, we have our new promos from the Mega Block, and the Bulbasaur is at $25. And these cards are epic, but I really wouldn't be stressing too much about these. I think we're going to get a ton of these packs, and I think they're going to get opened and graded a ton. So hopefully we start to see these come down to like the $10, $12 range. And it might not happen this year or even next year, but I would definitely be patient. I think that these are going to get torn open, they're going to get graded, and I think you're going to easily be able to get like 8s and 7s from PSA that are like super cheap. So for me, I'm probably going to just wait until people start grading them and then they get super cheap. It could be like a Burger Chew situation, but we'll see. Hopefully there's just a crap ton of these because these are epic. And same with Squirtle, $34, no surprise. Awesome card. And then Charmander at $35. So I would definitely be patient. I know it sucks, but I do not think that these cards are going to be even $35. Like these should technically be like $2 $5 cards. And then in like 20 years, you'd see them be $35. So I definitely try to be patient, try not to FOMO. And we have the Haunter that was in that, I think it was like a battle deck or whatever. Its most recent sold is $50. And the art on this is okay. It's not like, if it was a Gengar, it'd be different for me. But with it being a Haunter, it's cool. Looks good. I don't know why it's so dark. But cool card. $50. No thanks. And I definitely think it was worth $20, but for it to already be up here, it's pretty crazy. So I hope that these get printed in the ground because that's pretty crazy. So had to throw it in here though. I mean, that is quite the, especially if it stabilizes there at $50, that'd be pretty nutty. And Alakazam, the Pokemon Center exclusive from the Mega ETB with Gardevoir, is about $50. Most recent sale is $85. So definitely want to keep an eye on. There's always a cult following of Alakazam, so I think it's a good card to pick up. Even if it's just the regular one, it could see a run up at some point. And we have Zekrom here from the newest ETB of Ascended Heroes. And this one is around the $45, $60 range. Pretty cool. Ends in there. Pretty awesome. I love this card, Zekrom. It's my favorite legendary of that era. So yeah, I don't know. $60 is pretty rough, but with it being the Pokemon Center exclusive box, we're not going to see a crazy amount of these being opened. So definitely one. I think it's worth maybe picking up one, but even just the regular ones from the ETBs, I think it'd be awesome to fill up a page of these, especially if you have the Journey Together Reshiram one. It'd be pretty sweet. And Charcadet, the Pokemon Center exclusive from the Phantasmal Flames ETB. It's going on a nice little run there. This chart is pretty weird anyway. The most recent sale is at $50, so that's why I threw it in here, just because if it sticks here at the $50 range, that could be a nice little pump there. So we'll definitely see if that holds up. And the Mega Evolutions Enhanced Booster Box is about to break $300, and I think that's a pretty big deal for something outside of Phantasmal Flames to be pushing up to the $300 range. And I think that with these next mega sets kind of being weak, I think we're starting to really see people turn back to the Mega Evolutions booster box, and that's why I'm picking up 2 ETBs right now, which are right here. So I picked up one of each from my LGS, and that's just because they're starting to push back up close to that $100 range. So we'll see how fast these move up, especially with Perfect Order coming out this weekend, and if more and more people are going to start pivoting back into that and start picking up those singles. So trying to make a move next week at a show, hopefully be able to pick up some of those before they pump. And we have the Phantasmal Flames Pokemon Center Elite Trainer box, and this one is about to push over $300, and I'm definitely considering selling one of mine, or hopefully at a show next week, I'm going to trade this one of them, so I'm going to keep my other one. I don't think I'll ever get rid of it, but we'll see, especially depending on what the Pokemon Center Elite Trainer boxes look like moving forward. If I find one that I like more, I'll unload it way down the road. But this one, I might try to trade it into 2 of the Scarlet and Violet base set with Koraidon and Miraidon, those ETBs, just because I really like the legendaries from Scarlet and Violet. They're probably some of my favorites since, I don't even know. My favorite legendary, I mean, probably since Giratina. Like, I love Tina, but we'll see what's available when I go to the card show. But it's kind of my idea, because I think $100 for those ETBs is pretty underrated. And we have our Ascended Heroes Elite Trainer box, just the regular one, and it's pushing up over $120. So I think it's kind of the time to kind of chill and wait and see if we get that second wave. It really starts to push things down like it did, like what happened with Prismatic. And I think being patient right now will pay off, and you'll start to see some deals pop up, and don't get too worried about it. And yeah, I mean, buying a lot of these at 125 is painful. So just try your best to not FOMO, and hopefully we see them back down to at least $100. And our Ascended Heroes Pokemon Center Elite Trainer boxes from Ascended Heroes, I think I already said that. Man, it's the end of the video. I'm pushing 30 minutes here. So, and I mean, is anyone even watching? Almost at $400. Pretty crazy. So my other one I was hoping not to sell until it hits $600. But I mean, the rate that this is going, I mean, heck, maybe we'll see $600 by the 30th. But that would be insane. So definitely had to throw this one in, because it just keeps on going up, even with the pretty low buy volume. But yeah, we're almost at $400 already, and those are the hottest cards and the sealed product of the week. And let me know if there's anything in here that you think is worth picking up at these prices, especially some of them hitting the all-time highs. And it's pretty crazy how fast everything's going up. And just be smart out there, and just remember that Pokemon is the one that is in the driver's seat, even though it feels like the scalpers and the botters are. I think Pokemon could solve a lot of these problems if they wanted to, but I think right now they're enjoying the attention, and they're ready to celebrate their 30th, and they're making sure that you're sticking around, following into all the new fancy cardboard, and try not to lose your minds too much out there, guys. And you guys have a great week, and we'll talk to you later. Peace.